Welcome back to Tales from the B-Side Superheroes. Today we're going to talk about Marvel's YellowJacket. Let's go. All right, welcome back to Tales from the B-Side Superheroes. So YellowJacket was one of my favorite heroes growing up. I think I more liked the look of him. There were earlier aspects of him where he was a little bit of a cocky / swashbuckling style hero, and I kind of like that, and that's one of the reasons why I lean towards him. I definitely like the look, and that I've liked that look in a few heroes, but yeah, YellowJacket was one of my B-side characters. One of the things I was surprised about in preparing for this was there's not a lot of information on the internet about him. Now, I blame his lack of success, again, on Marvel editorial. Here's a character that they really didn't know what to do with. But let's get into it. So, YellowJacket was created by Roy Thomas and John Buscema. As you know, Hank Pym was the original Ant-Man, Giant Man, Goliath, and then YellowJacket. And then after that, he is the Earth Scientist Supreme, which is basically the scientific counterpart to Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, and then he became the Wasp after the Wasp died. The way they wrote him is he had several mental problems over the years, mental strain, schizophrenia, induced, chemical something or other to, which is why he had so many problems, but the fourth superhero identity that he adopted was YellowJacket in Avengers issue 59 in 1968. So the way it happened was Pym adopted the new identity of Goliath upon returning from the mishap trapped the character in the giant form for several issues. And this had some effects on his self-esteem. After regaining control of his size-shifting ability, Pym creates the robot Ultron that accidentally achieves sentience and becomes one of the Avengers' greatest foes. During a botched experiment, Pym inhales chemicals that induce schizophrenia, and suffering from a personality crisis, reappears at Avengers Mansion as the cocky YellowJacket. Claiming to have disposed of Pym, only the Wasp realizes that he is Pym and takes advantage of his offer for marriage. Pym eventually recovers from the chemicals during a battle with the Circus of Prime at the wedding. He participates in several missions until, after demonstrating hostile behavior towards Janet Van Dyne, he attacks a foe from behind. Once the opponent has ceased fighting, Captain America suspends YellowJacket from the Avengers, duty pending the verdict of a court-martial. Pym suffers a mental breakdown and concocts a plan to salvage his credibility by building a robot, Salvation One, and programming it to launch an attack on the Avengers that he will stop using the robot's weakness at a critical point in the battle. In hopes of regaining his good standing, the Wasp discovers the plan and begs Pym to stop, whereby he strikes her. Jim Shooter, the writer of the story, would claim he only intended that Pym accidentally strike her while gesturing at her dismissively, and that Bob Hall, the artist, misinterpreted the instruction. Pym is subsequently expelled from the Avengers, and Janet divorces him. Now, Hank Pym was the first YellowJacket. The second one was Rita Damara, who was a thief that stole Hank Pym's YellowJacket costume and used it to become the criminal YellowJacket. She joined the Masters of Evil and later became an Avenger. Her first appearance was Avengers 264 in 1986. She would then later go on to join the Guardians of the Galaxy. The one that I'm least familiar with was Darren Cross. He made his appearance as YellowJacket in The Astonishing Ant-Man number 12 in 2016. By that time, I had already stopped reading Marvel Comics. So let's take a look at some of his abilities. Leading authority in myrmecology research, I know I didn't get that right, so you can all laugh at me. Genius level intellect, size changing from near microscopic to 100-foot giant. Ability to transfer his size shifting ability to other beings and objects. Bioenergy projection, also known as a biosting. Maintains strength of normal size in his shrunken state. Flight using his grafted wings. Superhuman strength, stamina, durability, and mass while in giant form. So here's my opinion. There's a lot of things that they could have done with Hank Pym and all his IDs. YellowJacket was one of my favorites because he was a chaotic neutral type, swashbuckler, cocky. Pym was YellowJacket for a good 20 years. Editorial Marvel, I believe, let this character down, like a lot of heroes. I was just listening to something not too long ago about She-Hulk and how much she's changed. And again, another character let down by Marvel Editorial. They could have kept him with that ID as a swashbuckler type hero. I always liked his costume, and even though some artists drew his wings too big, which logically would ruin his peripheral vision, I have seen him use a gun-style disruptor and also one in his gloves. Other heroes that use this style that I kind of like the style of his outfit was Dutch of Youngblood and Commander Steel with DC, and there's been many others. It seems to be a look I like. I will probably use it in one of my upcoming stories in the Rubicon that we'll be talking about more here in the near future. I was surprised that there wasn't more information online about the character. If you go to an effort to make a character, you should plan arcs and sub-arcs for the character. Marvel Editorial seems to differ from writers and artists and the changes that they make to their characters, but they don't explain why the transition, why and if they shift too much or if they look too different without an explanation, then I think it kind of ruins the reader's involvement in a particular story. Here is a character that if you wanted to go with the fact that he had some mental issues, schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or anything like that, then write that character, make him a superhero that struggles with that issue and what hurdles he has being a superhero with that issue and how that issue also impacts both his civilian identity and his superhero identity and his ability to work in a team. There's so many different things you could have done there. But again, I think editorial leaves you wanting more and letting you down. So that is one of my favorite characters that I grew up with. And I still like the look to this day. This YellowJacket. Over the point of this video, I've shared lots of different styles. Also his Ultimate Comics version, and some of the different versions and some of the different characters that played YellowJacket. So if you like this video, like and subscribe. Please share around, tell your friends about it. If you have any comments or would like me to focus on a particular B character that you like, let me know. Let me know, and I'll do a little bit of research, and we'll see what we can kind of come up with. But thank you again, and have a great day.